Hacker's Test. Section 2. You will hear the head of a development panel talk about a sports complex. First, you have some time to read through questions 1 to 5. Now listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 5.
I'm pleased that you've all gathered here for this public meeting at Brighton City Hall today. I know that many of you are excited to hear details about this weekend's opening of the Brighton Sports Complex. So I've asked Shane Downs, the head of the committee that has been overseeing the development of the complex, to share that information with you. Shane.
Thank you. As many of you are already aware, the Brighton Sports Complex will be the largest athletic stadium our city has ever seen, serving primarily as the venue for national tennis matches. I'm speaking today on behalf of the entire committee that helped get the project started. I'm happy to say to all City Council members here with us today that we stayed well under our budget. The project was also finished by our completion deadline and will open as scheduled. Many of the council members already toured the facility and were very impressed with what they saw. I guess now is a good time to talk about the various sports facilities that are housed in the complex. Not only does the complex house 22 tennis courts, but it also has 2 full-size basketball courts. One will be indoors and available to use year-round. Furthermore, it will be used for games played among regional and national teams. The complex also has a volleyball court, an indoor football field, a weight room, and an Olympic-sized swimming pool. We are incredibly excited to welcome the citizens of Brighton to use these facilities. And soon, we will have more details about our plans for a yoga studio. In addition to the exercise facilities, several dining establishments will also be available at the complex. Of course, we want to encourage all of our citizens to lead a healthy lifestyle, so we did not grant retail licenses to any fast food restaurants. Instead, there will be a selection of establishments selling salads, smoothies, and sandwiches made with organic ingredients. All the ingredients are from local sources, giving the visitors to these establishments reassurance that they have not traveled long distances or been processed heavily. As with the rest of our facilities, they will be open from 6 a.m. until 10 p.m., and both members and non-members can patronize any of these establishments, which have been placed on the ground floor.
Before you hear the rest of the talk, you can read through questions 6 to 10. Now, listen and answer questions 6 to 10.
Okay, I'll quickly discuss the complex's membership program. Citizens will need to stop by the reception desk and fill out a registration form to become a member. They will then be presented with a membership card that can be used to access all of our facilities. That is, everywhere except the swimming pool. There will be an additional £100 annual fee to use this facility, and members will be able to access the area with their cards. This annual fee will be in addition to the membership fee for overall general use of the complex. And patrons will also be able to rent out private lockers for reasonable rates if they want to have their own. We also have our own car park and will offer complimentary parking to all guests. And we will also have several event halls that members can hire for special events. All fees can be paid easily either in person at the reception desk or by credit card using our online payment system. Oh, and finally, I'm sure most of you already know this, but Millers Road, where Brighton Sports Complex is located, will be blocked off this weekend for street repairs. So it'll be tough to park there. Instead, ample free parking is available in a large car park that has been constructed adjacent to the complex. Join us at the grand opening this Saturday at 10 a.m. and pick up a free T-shirt with our facility's logo on the front. The other committee members and I will expect to see you all there. And now I'll take any questions you might have.
That is the end of Section 2. You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Section 3. You will hear a conversation between two students and a professor talking about a project on globalized marketing in business. First, you have some time to read through questions 11 to 16. Now listen carefully and answer questions 11 to 16.
Thanks for stopping by my office, Catherine and Matthew. So, how are you both doing on the project about globalized marketing in business?
I think everything's going smoothly so far. We have finished our outline for the structure of the report, and I've just finished our introduction.
And I've been doing the research for the main body.
Yes, we've started doing research online.
About specific globalized companies.
So when we finish that, we can begin work on writing the main body of the report.
Well, what companies have you focused on already, Catherine?
I've discovered some information about globalized fast food businesses. What's notable about these companies is how they've altered their product offerings to appeal to various markets worldwide.
So you've covered one aspect of marketing there, products. Have either of you researched any specific examples of that?
I have. American fast food chain Burger King, for instance, has a menu primarily consisting of burgers containing beef. So when the company launched in India, some changes needed to be made to its products in order to entice the local market, which is made up of many consumers who do not eat beef.
And what impact did doing that have on the company?
Basically, by giving attention to the concerns of individual consumers in India, consumers' perceptions of Burger King's products improved there significantly.
I see.
The company started to become more highly regarded in surrounding countries in Southeast Asia too. It was interesting to see how rapidly favourable news about a company spread like that.
So you've looked at the place aspect of marketing in your analysis of this fast food company as well. Markets react differently in different countries and regions, but your report should focus on all four marketing elements. So, Catherine, what about the other two?
Well, I also did some research on the promotion aspect for print advertising for the Swedish vodka company, Absolut. This company decided to choose different ads for different regions and incorporate cultural slang into each area's advertisements.
Very good. Other than the language, though, what else varied in the ads? Did Absolut modify its usual graphics and size? Or did it make any changes to its image branding?
Not those things specifically, but other elements in print ads, such as colour, also varied in different regions.
Sounds like you've made good progress.
Before you hear the rest of the discussion, you can read through questions 17 to 20. Now listen and answer questions 17 to 20.
However, you'll still need to address the element of price, and I recommend digging more deeply into globalized marketing for corporations in industries other than food and beverages.
Matthew's got some interesting information about fashion companies, actually.
Is that so, Matthew?
Yeah. US clothing retail chain Calvin Klein had some trouble when it ran commercials for a new clothing line, and many consumers in foreign markets found them highly inappropriate.
How were the advertisements and products inappropriate exactly?
Well, it was a very contemporary-styled campaign, but the general consumer response there was that the clothes were too revealing. And that response was from young and old consumers alike.
Yeah, it wasn't a good start for Calvin Klein's first globalization effort.
Unfortunately not. But the company turned things around by designing a new line in spring 2013 that featured elements of traditional clothing from various countries, while maintaining the muted and simple color scheme of their general clothing.
Yes, and they also changed their prices, so the new clothes were more affordable than the previous line. Our report will discuss price a bit in regard to Calvin Klein.
Good. How did the marketing team decide on adjusting prices for each foreign market?
They naturally had to consider the break-even point for every product, and based on that, they could determine how much to set each product's profit margin at.
Great. I'd like you to integrate those details into your report.
Absolutely. I've got notes on the equations from last week's class on profit margin analysis and have decided to include those too.
Yeah, and we're working on creating some graphs that illustrate those equations as well.
That's good, because I don't want you to have an excessive amount of text in the report. So, could you tell me what you have in mind for the structure of the report?
Yeah, we'll have an introduction followed by one section for each of the 4 aspects of marketing, and then finally a conclusion. All of the formulas and graphics will be printed in an appendix at the end of the report.
Actually, you should mix the visual materials in with the text. Just add footnotes for each graphic.
I see. I'll adjust my outline then. Thanks for your advice, Professor.
Yes, we appreciate it. We're going to head to the library now to find some visual examples of globalized advertising. We thought it might be a good idea to include pictures of actual ads in the report.
No problem. I'm looking forward to seeing your final draft submission next week.
That is the end of section 3. You now have half a minute to check your answers.